Yes. Now streaming.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Dr. Vinduma?
Yes, sir.
We can start?
Yes, sir. I can start.
No. He'll start the session. Please. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Mr.
sure.
Divakar, you can start the session. Yes.
Okay, sir. So, good afternoon to one and all. The Department of Computer Science and Applications, the Oxford College of Science, has organized this enrichment program on IoT 360-degree view, that is Internet of Things 360-degree view. So now it is our time to pray the Almighty God to make this event successful. So in the same time, this prayer is dedicated to everyone and those corona affected persons in the globe to save their life and a speed recovery, to provide enough strength to fight against this dreadful virus. So now I request Swarna Gauri S of BCS 6M to render a innovation song. So Swarna Gauri, it's up now.
शुक्लाम्बरधरं गणेशमन्त्रं नित्यं नित्यं जपो जपो शुक्लाम्बरधरं गणेशमन्त्रं नित्यं नित्यं जपो जपो विघ्नविनाशकवेद्यदायक धीरगणपति नमो नमो बालगणपति नमो नमो शुक्लाम्बरधरं गणेशमन्त्रं नित्यं नित्यं जपो जपो चिन्ताहरणा चिन्मयरूप चिन्तामणि श्री नमो नमो चिन्ताहरणा चिन्मयरूप चिन्तामणि श्री नमो नमो विघ्नविनायक विद्यादायक वीरगणपति नमो नमो बालगणपति नमो नमो शुक्लाम्बरधरं गणेशमन्त्रं नित्यं नित्यं जपो जपो नित्यं नित्यं जपो जपो विघ्नविनायक विद्यादायक थैंक यू
Thank you, Swarna Gauri. So now I request Sapna Radadiya, Assistant Professor, Computer Science and Application Department, to give a welcome note. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. The Internet of Things is not a concept. It is a network, the true technology-enabled network of all the networks. Quoted by Edward Orivo. Good afternoon to all. I, Sapna Radaria, Assistant Professor of the Department of Computer Science and Application of the Oxford College of Science, welcome you all to Enrichment Program on IoT 360-degree view. I take this delightful opportunity to heartily welcome our beloved Chairman, Sri S.N.V.L. Narasimha Raju, respected Principal, Dr. R. Kavyashri, Vice Principal, Dr. Bharati S., and Professor Gayatri Sudhir, Management Representative of HSR Campus, Ms. Ujjwala Raju, and Head of the various departments. I also welcome Dr. Sushil Kumar Sahu, Professor and Head of the Department of Computer Science and Applications, and Mr. Prakash, System Admin. Behalf of Department and College, I extend a very warm welcome to our guest speaker of today's program, Dr. P. Bindu Madhvi, Professor and Head of CSE Department, Sri Sai Ram College of Engineering. Dr. P. Bindu Madhvi is a doctorate from SK University, Anandpur. She published several research papers in various national and international journals with a very good research indices. She has also been recognized with Best Research Paper Award by reputed international publisher. Dr. P. Bindu Madhvi has worked in various capacities under teaching profession and is actively involved in research. Her area of research includes computer networks, image processing, and artificial intelligence. She received Best Teacher Award from T. John Institute of Technology. Ma'am, I once again welcome to you this program. This is a great pleasure that you could grace the occasion. I also welcome all the faculty members and all the students to this virtual enrichment program, IoT 360-degree view. The Internet of Things is the network of physical objects or things embedded with electronics, software, sensor, and network connectivity, which enable this object to collect and exchange data. IoT allows objects to be sensed and controlled remotely across existing network infrastructure, creating opportunity for more direct integration between physical world and computer-based systems, and resulting in improved efficiency, accuracy, and economic benefit. Without any further ado, I request Dr. P. Bindu Madhvi to take over virtual platform. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. So first of all, I would like to thank management, principal, HOD, the faculty members for having me here for today's session. I would like to welcome all the students. Both PG and then I guess UG both are there, I guess, right? Yes, sir. Divakar, sir. Yes. Both.
Yes, ma'am. Both UG and PG are present.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be there as a resource person for today's session. So almost I have given the time up to 1 hour. So most probably by 1:45, I will try to complete the presentation. Yes. So before starting with my presentation, I request each one of you, each one of the student to be interactive. Feel free to communicate, ask if you have any queries, because I'm not going to show you any of the demonstration here, just like I would like to give a glance about how is IoT important for us. That's what I mentioned the name as IoT 360 degrees view. And students, it is not a class. It was just like an awareness program for you all, how important this IoT is all about in our daily life. I hope I'm clear and I'm audible. Yes, kindly any one of the student can confirm to me, or at least the teacher. Yes. Okay, feel free to interact and let us see the session more interactive than as usual, like classroom. Unidirection. Let me share the screen. Sir, can I share the screen?
Please share it, ma'am.
Yes, since I'm connected through the tab, I may be using the screen of this tab.
Yes, it is visible now.
Yeah, it is visible.
Yes, is it visible? It is visible.
Just give me a second, sir.
Sure.
Sorry. Just give me a second. It's
Okay.
asking about the mail details. So I have tweeted from the share screen option, sir. I felt like there is a small disturbance.
What happened, ma'am?
Some disturbance is there, sir. I could not even.
Okay.
I don't know whether everybody could able to hear or not.
I'm able to hear.
Hear you, ma'am.
You can hear since.
Yes, I have come to slideshow view and my screen is visible, sir.
No, it is not visible.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. Yes, it is showing here. The screen is visible, sir.
No, ma'am.
Prakash,
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
Okay. So when I'm joining my device to connect, it is showing the maximum reach is reached. I mean, maximum limit we have reached already.
1 minute, ma'am.
Sir, exactly 100 is there, sir. 100.
Now check, ma'am.
No, sir. Still, it is coming like maximum limit you have reached already. This meeting has reached the maximum number of allowed participants. Another device is not accepting, sir. Kindly check and keep on doing the same thing.
You can remove Prakash.
Any one
of the
student.
students. One of the student you can remove. Just try. From the main Zoom, ask her to join in that YouTube live streaming.
Madam, now you try, ma'am.
Now you try, Dr. Bindu.
Yes, sir. Just give me a second. I am trying. Yes, sir. I could able to connect.
Okay. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. All of you please mute. All of you please mute. Prakash,
Yes, sir.
mute.
Mute also.
Yeah, now it's visible.
My screen is visible, I hope, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So it's
Make
the
it full
problem of
screen, ma'am.
the number of
Okay,
participants.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Please
Yeah,
go
sorry
ahead.
for the delay. Yes.
No problem.
So
Please
let me
start.
continue. As I mentioned, let us feel this session is more interactive. Yeah, I'm going to give all about this IoT 360 degrees view. Yes. Okay. Look at the slide. I have mentioned 4 components here as a part of this IoT 360 degree view. One is what, why, how, and where. So for any kind of domain when you are working, what was the purpose of the domain that we are working? Why is it required for us? How it is going to be utilized and where we are going to apply. All these things that we need to think. Yes. So with that background, just what is this IoT? I would like to brief you all. Then followed with why is it required for us, where, and then how we are going to use. So IoT is all about connecting the unconnected things to the world. So I can give a simple example here, connecting the unconnected things. We have so many physical devices, right? In the world, every real world entity, what we call as a physical object. Yes. So if you are bringing all the objects and connecting that objects to the network, I can say it is an IoT. Yes or no? Because we are making the devices into a smarter way so that we can gain the control on that particular part of the environment through these devices. So it is as simple as I said, just connecting the unconnected things. So here there is a question. Is it possible for us to connect all the real world objects to the network? No. Why? Because there are so many parameters which will affect this, industries. Because every time when the objects are created and when the objects are getting outdated, we cannot destroy all the objects. So it is related to the cost parameter, it is related to the space parameter, etc., etc. So there is a restriction here. We cannot collect all the devices to the network. We will see which kind of devices can be connected to the network in the coming slides. Right. Now, why the IoT is required? As I mentioned already, the things which are not connected across the globe, if we connect, we can make the world smarter. That is why we need this IoT, right? See, if you can see now, wherever you go in a city or in a village, except the crowded area, except the dense environment, except the underground, deeper underground, we could see the network connectivity. Yes. Example, we are traveling, assume that we are traveling through Bandipur forest. So within a specified radius, we can get the signal because the network has grown up like that. So why the IoT is required is to see a smarter world, we require the IoT. I hope all of you will agree with me. Yes. The next one, where and then how. There are n number of applications. You can use this IoT. If we know how to create the smart devices, then you can customize the applications as per our requirement. There is no restriction, right? Yes. And different ways. What are the different types of ways you can make the IoT devices? There are different ways here also I can mention. It depends upon your application and your perspective to design your application. Example, if I have the smart devices with the IoT connectivity, I can use them to measure the temperature in the surrounding environment. It may be in my house or it may be near to a particular radius where my house is there or near to traffic signal, etc. In the same manner, there is a restriction for the ways as well, because I mentioned we cannot connect all the smart objects to the world due to the cost parameter or due to either of the parameter. So we have to select the object based on the support extending by the object. I hope all of you will agree with me. Support how the object is designed means, let us take an example of electric, what do you say, electric bulbs. Olden days, the electrical bulbs are not smarter, but now you can see smart bulbs, LEDs, LCDs, and again they are controlled by us. Automatic switching on and off. If the object is passed, by default, the electrical bulb will be on. If the object is not passed, by default, it will be getting off. Because we are making them into smarter by designing the object or by enhancing the object features. So this is a basic information what I would like to give about this IoT 360 degrees view. If you can see the slide, I have mentioned clockwise and anti-clockwise arrows. Says that this process will continue for a while till we enhance the world into smarter. I mentioned we need to enhance the world. Why? Because already we are in the IoT world, but still the connectivity needs to be enhanced. That is what I mentioned 360 degrees view. I'm not explaining you all about how to write a code, but I'm giving you all glance about why, what, where, and how we can use this IoT. Yes, and down to this particular slide, you could see there is a world where you could see an animated image with all the dots and different types of symbols, etc., etc. You could see some portion of the world is not connected. Yes, it is not connected, but still we are trying to connect through this IoT. So the outer conclusion of this slide is all about how best you can utilize the things around us, how best we can connect the things to the network, right? That much better way we can build the smart world. Yes, there are almost advantages as well as disadvantages for connecting with the IoT. We will see in the coming slides. Yes. So I hope this slide is understandable by everyone. Let me move on to the next slide. Okay. So what is IoT? Now, just now I mentioned connecting the unconnected things is all about IoT I mentioned. Is it possible always? Is it possible always? Yes, there are some restrictions. So you could see the figure, I guess. It is all about any time you can connect. Anybody can connect to through the IoT, right? Any kind of services we can extract from any place you can try to connect, and anything or any kind of device can try to connect with this IoT, right? And through different types of paths, through different types of networks, we can connect with the IoT, right? So this is all about how well you can step towards the advances in the communication. That is what I mentioned, it is the IoT. See how advanced that we are in the communication, right? Anything can be connected in the globe now as per the requirement by the user. Yes or no? Now, if I want to eat anything, I can order through Swiggy, Zomato, etc., and I can get my food items. What the connectivity? Still, better communication is required because of the issues which are happening around us. Yes or no? So that is all about, I can say, the IoT. But again, it depends upon several parameters. If I say like I need a hi-fi network, again I need to put some of the constraints, like I need to expend money, like cost parameter is one more thing. And see, if I want to enhance my network, again the size parameter is one more thing. And energy. See, if I'm using different types of routers, switches, and gateways within a network, again energy is a constraint for that, because all the sensor nodes, whatever we have in the market, is either based on what do you say, rechargeable. Still, rechargeable sensors are not that much training in the market. It is completely battery oriented. So energy is a main important thing to connect. And weight. Yes. Early, if you can see example of televisions, we have CRT based televisions in the previous days, but now you can see all the televisions are completely became smarter with this IoT technology. We have several LEDs, LCD type of screens, right? And there are various components where the size of the boards itself, it has become very less because of the components. So what I would like to convey here is IoT is all about connecting the unconnected things, I said, but what way like you can connect the unconnected things? There are different number of ways. So it is possible still, anytime you can connect, any device you can connect, as per the design of the device, from any place you can connect. You can use any path, any services you can enhance. Also, anybody can connect to IoT. And also there are several constraints which I mentioned, size part, cost part, and weight and energy, everything is a matter. In a positive note, if the radio signal which we are receiving to connect with the network is very high, it means to say the strength of a signal is very high, by default, we can connect with a higher rate to our network. I hope all of you agree with me, because if we are not getting the signal, by default, we cannot connect much with the network. Always we could see there is a propagation in the speed of a network, right? So we need to see how we can increase the strength of a signal, wherein which we could connect best way to the network. Yes. So here we are interacting through the IoT. We are interacting with the people. We are interacting with the objects, and we look for complete technological transition. So how you can say like it is complete technological transition means we are already witnessed from past 5 years. Mostly we could see during demonetization time, everybody switched from the traditional way of money payments to a digital payment. Yes or no? It is a technological transition, right? Now we could see like everything is integrated with the UPI transaction, or any specific communication mode type of transaction here, because there are different communication mediums. I can say if I'm using, I can use Amazon UPI payment. If I'm using Flipkart, I can use Flipkart payment mode or UPI payment mode. So this is all about the digitalization, where the technology is transformed from a traditional way to the digital way. This is possible through IoT. It is already witnessed by us. Yes, and whatever may be the machines and objects that we are seeing now, they were controlled throughout the network remotely. I hope all of you will agree with me. Example is my presentation itself. Now, due to this pandemic, we are all connected through digital platform, digital way of learning. Your teachers are all teaching you all through online by using Zoom, by using Google Classroom, Teams, etc., etc. What exactly we are doing here? We are gaining the control on the system remotely. We are working remotely right now. Not only the teachers, we know that software engineers, all of them were connected through remote network only. So what they were exactly doing, they are gaining the control to connect with the network. So through the objects and through the machines. What kind of machines? All the laptops, all the PCs were the machines here. And we have different types of objects like routers, switches, right? Gateways and base stations. There are so many things which are supporting us to connect with the network. Yes. So I could convey IoT is all about connecting the unconnected things in a smarter way to the network. Yes. And here we could see anytime we can connect to the network and we could extract the services, right? And we can connect through different paths to the network. This is all about like what is IoT. And let me move on to the next slide. Yes, am I clear for you all? Whether I'm fast?
It's fine, ma'am. It's fine. Please
Yeah.
go.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Next important thing is I'm talking so long about what is IoT, and what kind of objects can be connected. Now, exactly, IoT is a collaborative information of all these elements. I hope it is clear. Collaborative information of all these elements means, like if I have an object, I could connect the object so that I could measure the information from the object. And I could connect that information to the network. Through the network only I can measure and I can connect that information to the network. If required, I can process the information. I can customize the information as per my requirement. I can extend the services to the other applications in the world as well. Yes, also I can work behind various semantics. Right. So I'll tell you what is all about. So I mentioned these are all the elements behind this IoT. First thing, identification. What exactly I'm identifying here? I'm identifying the objects which are not connected to the world. It may be a portion of the particular place which is not connected to the network. It may be a portion of the, what do you say, sea, a portion of the underground sea, a portion of the crowded forest. Either of the way we can define. That is an object for me. I hope all of you know about the visualization, right? In front of our eyes, whatever we could able to see, right? Whatever we could able to see, however we are seeing, that looks like an object for me, object for us. That is the statistics of visualization. Why I told you this visualization concept is, I could identify the object which is not connected to the network I'm saying. How? If we see whichever the portion is not connected only, I could identify. So that is what I have given example. In front of my eye, if I'm seeing a person in front of my eye, the person is an object for me, as well as a portion of the wall is an object for me, a portion of an environment is an object for me. I have to identify it. Clear? So from the IoT, first we need to identify the object, that is the first component, and connect the object if it is not connected to the network. While connecting, what exactly the procedure we are following? We need to connect the object and we need to measure the information through the object. That is what sensing we call. Sense the information from an object, right? through the network connectivity. Yes, once the information is measured, the information has to be utilized further for the communication purpose for our applications. Example, I need to measure the temperature within my house, right? We have different types of apps in our mobile where you can measure the temperature and humidity. In the same manner, I will take a sensor, temperature sensor, where I can measure the temperature in my surrounding environment. Yes, and after measuring, what I will do, I have to give that information for further communication. Yes, my room temperature is so much. However, I need to use this information, I should utilize. Is it clear? So sensing is one more element here as a part of IoT. For an object, we need to sense the information, which is just like measuring the information for an object. Communication. Always we want to communicate the information for the other part of the network or other networks. When there is a necessity, we need to communicate the information. Otherwise, what is the purpose of we measuring the data through the object? Yes, communication is a key element for us. Right. Once we communicate the data for the other devices or within the network, right, we need to compute the data. What do you call as a computation here? Computation is all about how the data which is measured should be further converted and further processed for the end user applications. Who are the end users? We are all the end users. However, I need the data which is generated by the objects. I need to use the data for my requirement. So the data should be processed. Example, within a network, so many number of sensor nodes will be there. Whatever the data it is being generated by the sensor nodes, if the data is not fine-tuned properly, we cannot use the data further. Why? Because the raw data which is generated needs to be filtered. Clear? If I need only a partial data for my application, I have to use it. If we are not fine-tuning the data which is required for that particular instant, then it will be a tough to handle the large volume of data. So computation is one more element here. Services. Yes, IoT is all about connecting the things, measuring the data, right? Extending the services. How the services can be extended? See, if you have a device, like sensor device of measuring the temperature, I can use that sensor in the home application as well as in the agriculture application. See, if I want to cultivate the crop, which will give a good, what do you say? Which will give good profit. Now I need to go in a smarter way, whether for this particular temperature, climate environment, whether this crop will suit or not. So for that, I need the complete process, identifying, sensing, communication, and computation. So services is all about based on the data, what we retrieved from the devices, we can provide the services or we can expect the services from the pair of components which are connected in the network. So it may be unique for different type of applications. The last one is about the semantics. The semantics part, you can utilize the semantics in different ways. Yes, am I audible? Can anyone say? Am I audible?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, so there is a restriction for my camera in my laptop because my laptop is also using by my husband. So since some of the components may not be accessible, by default it will be switching on and switching off. Kindly accept me. Mostly I think so my camera is off, right, for you people?
Yes, your video is not visible.
No, but I switched on my video, but the camera by default it is restricting, sir.
Okay, okay.
No problem, ma'am.
Yeah, the next one is about the semantics. Like we know what is the meaning for the semantic. Just like for a particular language or for a particular programming perspective, the logic what we write behind is what we call as a semantic. Just the concept or the logic what we can use. Yes, why I have used the element as semantics here is there are different types of components and different types of information will be generating by these components. I'm using the words component as well as elements as the synonyms. Kindly don't get confused. IoT elements are the components, what I mean here. Yes, when the data is getting filtered and the services are providing, there are different types of logistics behind how to divide the data and how to utilize only that portion of the data for the applications. I hope I'm clear. So semantics is all about what are the logistics behind the data which is filtered, the data which is utilized for the services of different applications. Yes. So IoT is all about the cumulative or collaborative information of all these things together. First, we need to identify the object. We need to measure the information through the object. We need to see how the objects can interact with the world through the network and how the computation process will take place and how the services can be extended for different type of applications and what kind of logistics that we are following to work with the applications. This is all about the IoT elements. So now, till now, I was keep on telling about connecting the unconnected things. So I hope everybody can see the next slide. Smart objects. You can see here, there are so many portion of the, what do you say, sensing organs in the slide. Keep this a diagram aside. First, let me know what is all about the smart objects. So whichever the objects will have an embedded concept to sense or to interact with the world is called as a smart object. Yes, I can say any physical object can become a smart object when it is interacting with the world. It means to say like with the other object or with the people. Either way you can define. If I say like my interaction is enhancing to the people and to more number of objects, I can say it is a smart object. It is with embedded technology. What you call as an embedded technology? It is inclusive of both the hardware and software parameters. Together, how we can incorporate and use them to sense, to measure the information. That is what we say it is a smart object. Till now, I was keep on saying connecting the unconnected things. That unconnected or connected things were nothing but the smart objects for me. So how I can say the object is smarter means if I connect the object through my hardware and through my software to the network and to the other end of the network to connect with the world, I can say it is a smart object. So let us see different kinds of smart objects. Like sensor is a object for me. Actuator is an object for me, right? The processing unit, CPUs, whatever we are using is objects for me, right? If you collaborate all these together, that I can say it is an IoT. Is that clear? So IoT, how you can see it is if I connect my mobile to the network and if I am extracting what exactly I can measure through my mobile, I can say it is an IoT connection. Yes or no? I have to measure something. I should connect to the world and I could send something through my mobile. Yes, the perception of every individual user is different. That is what we can say IoT is an ocean. We can't restrict ourselves to say, yeah, IoT is defined like this. Clear? I can say it is a smart connectivity. You take either of the object. I have to embed with my technology to access the object, to connect the object. I can say that is an IoT connectivity. Yes, there are different types of objects here. I told already a sensor, an actuator, yes, processing unit, etc., etc. What exactly the sensor will do as a part of IoT? It will measure the data, right? And what is the role of an actuator means? It will gain the control on the devices what we are connected. Someone has to control, right? Yes, the actuator will actually control the data, and we could see the transformation of the data from analog to digital. Whatever the electrical signal it is receiving, it will change the appearance of one form to the other form. And based on different type of applications, you can use the sensors. Yes, what could be different types of applications? Where and all we can use the sensors? We are using the sensors as a part of the smart object concept. and we can categorize based on specific application. I can use it in the industry. I can use it wherever they were needed to be used. Yes, and also how the sensors can measure and what they can measure. Sensors can measure the information from an object. Exactly type of a sensor gives the input here. If I'm using humidity kind of sensor, I can give the humidity as an input. Yes, if I can use the what do you say, the sensor which will measure the temperature, I can measure the temperature. If I can use a sensor to measure the what do you say, water level in the ground, yes, it can measure. Yes, soil density I can measure. So why I am giving all these examples are, there is a different mechanism for every sensor which is used to measure the input. Yes, and there are different types of sensors in the world. Like there is no need of introducing new sensors every time, because already sensor is defined, it is designed in a way. So in the same manner, either we can follow it or we can customize as per our applications. Yes or no? And there are different types of variables. Yes, if I use temperature sensor, the variables are completely different. If I use humidity sensor, again the variables will vary. If I use soil measuring sensor, again the variables will be varying. Yes or no? It's all like when we are writing a program, we will define a global variable and local variable, right? The role played by the local variable and global variable is slightly varying. Yes, it may be restricted to use within the particular case or outside the case. In terms of classes, we can say within the class or outside the class. In the same manner, the variables will be varied as per whatever they need to measure, how they measure, the type of sensor what we are using. Yes. So I hope all of you could understand this. As a part of smart objects, I define the sensors and actuators and how they will measure the data. Okay, let us come back to the diagram here. Things are there, and you could see there are some sensing organs from our body, like eye, ear, lips, hands, and then nose. So these are the things which are connected to our body, right? And these 5 things, 5, 2, 4, 5, yeah. 5 sensing organs will sense us the information for us, then we will work accordingly. I hope everybody will agree with me. All these are the 5 things which senses the information, accordingly our body will function. But which is the main thing giving the instructions for us? Our brain. So through the brain, all these sensing organs were controlled, right? And the sensing organs will be sensing the information, accordingly we are responding. But actual scenario is brain is giving the instructions to sensing organs and organs will be responding. You could see the other portion of the diagram, identifying, connecting, and receiving the radio signals to connect to the world. So this is one of the example. Let me move on to the next slide quickly. Yes, there are different types of sensors. Why I am giving a weightage for the sensor is sensors and actuators are the key elements for the IoT, right? For the IoT. So there are different types of sensors. Position sensor. So if you want to position, if you want to find out the position of an object, we were using this. Occupancy and motion type of sensor. These kind of sensors we are using in our CCTV footage, CCTV surveillance to detect the objects again. Position sensor means we are measuring where exactly the object is placed. It may be in terms of absolute or in terms of relative, based on the angle of information. From 0 to 360 degrees, if the object is moving in front of that particular sensor, it will detect the object. I will show you in the last slide with a sample project. Next, velocity and acceleration sensor. So when the object is moving in front of the sensor, how fast the object can move and whether we can retrieve the information or not, we can see. The next sensor is force, pressure, flow sensor, acoustic sensor, humidity, light, radiation sensor. If you can see, there is a relation between force and pressure sensor, right? Example, these kind of sensors we are using between, using in our mobiles. So mobiles, nowadays, like we are using Yes, we are using face detection or we are using thumb detection. So we need to give some force so that we can detect the object. And when we need to measure the flow of the liquids, then we use this flow kind of sensors. When we need to measure the sound levels, we use acoustic sensor. Yes, I told already temperature and humidity sensor, and also light sensors. So we need to detect the presence of the light, which is visible or invisible. For that, we will use this light sensor. Radiation sensors, especially these kind of sensors are used in our medical field. Yes, to detect the disease through CT scan and MRI scan, they will send the object and then they will detect the disease for that particular object. Object is human being here. Yes, and also chemical and biosensors. These chemical and biosensors, they play a vital important role in our medical field. Just biosensors and all, like we are using them in our medical industry, because nowadays if we need to measure what is your sugar, yes, any BP levels to check, there are different types of devices we have, right? Glucose level instrument where you can measure the glucose, and as well as BP machine. And now we are seeing in view of this COVID, like oxygen measuring instrument also we have, right? Oximeter, like that, like this kind of sensors we have. And chemical sensors, yes, I mentioned to measure the carbon dioxide level in the air. Now there are so many devices where we can detect the pollution. Like in the same manner, like to detect the moisture in the air, to detect the oxygen level. So that and all, it will be measured through this chemical type of sensors. Yes, they are some of the sensors which are projected here. Like that, we have n number of sensors which are going to be used as a part of this IoT. So I will conclude like this. IoT is all equipped with sensors, actuators, and a portion of memory and the processing unit, everything, right? If all these things will be connected to the network, I can say it is an IoT. And yes, I have shown an example here. I guess I'm running out of time. See, you can see the slide, I guess. This is a sample diagram which I've projected. We were using mobiles in our daily life. All the smartphones were equipped with more number of sensors. Unknowingly, we were connected with the sensors. Yes. Now, whichever the sensors I have shown in the previous slide, that's almost all the sensors were used in our mobile. If I need to detect my face, I need to have a sensor which is interconnected with the camera. Also GPS for tracking my what do you say, my presence or my device, and light sensor, touch screen for the authorization, and also microphone, moisture sensor, humidity, all these kind of sensors we are using as a part of the sensors, right? Sorry, as a part of the smartphone. And you could see there is a rapid growth in the industry. Um, in the sense, like it doesn't mean like only specific to particular industry, like business, or I can say agriculture, or I can say the software industry. It is customized. There are tremendous growth of the utilization of these sensors with IoT from past decade. In the 2007, I guess we could see only less number of devices are connected. If you can see the growth rate up to 2020, 22, I guess you could see in the figure, there is a rapid growth of utilization of these smart objects in the world. But still, our expectations are still more high. By 2037, still more smart devices we can work, so that we could see the connectivity of the complete world. Yes. Yes, and I told you till now about the sensors. The next one is about the actuators. So I said actuators, just like they are the complements for the sensor. Data will be measured by the sensor, but the data will be controlled by the actuator, right? Data will be transformed by the actuator. So from one form to the other form, exactly the data will be transformed, and The transformed data will be connected to the physical world, right? And I have given you all one example already. The example is just how our sensing organs were controlled by the brain. You could see bottom, I have given two small diagrams, right? Entire physical world is connected through the sensors and actuators, which are a part of IoT. Yes, and also right side portion of the diagram is equipped with our sensing organs, which are connected to the brain, and how the organs will be responding. So sensing organs for the sensors, and the CPU is our brain, and the actuator will respond accordingly by transforming the signals. Yes, so this is about the actuator. Yes, why is IoT? You could see here an animated image what I have attached. Why is IoT means there is, I could feel the question itself, it is wrong. I hope all of you will agree with me. Why? Because IoT is required for us because we need to go in a smarter way. I have a question here to answer why is IoT. The question is how long the software industry will survive? Because people are having different views. Yeah, now mechanical and civil industries are down. Software industry is in boom. So people have the views that software industry may go down. But that is wrong. Correct. Why? Moderately, till we need a luxury life, I could say the software industry will be alive. Yes or no? If we want to connect to the world in a smarter way, I could say the software industry will not go down. In the same manner, IoT. IoT is required for us to connect to the world with all the smart equipments in a smarter way. So it is important. So it is a technological transition where we need to improve ourselves. If I say like, I don't know how to utilize the digital resources, I cannot handle the class, my organization will throw me. So I need to know, I need to change accordingly, being a learner, right? I need to change my way of approach to reach to the students from the traditional way to digital platform. We don't know how the future would be, right? Again, it may be in a different way of transmission again. Is that clear? So why is IoT is required for us, and it is so important for the technological transition to connect the entire world. Yes, here I have given only 5 basic important criterions. You can enhance still more. Yes, if I want to build a better nation with a better connectivity, I need an exact data. Yes, that data, it should be in a bulk amount, and I have to focus on that bulk amount of data, and I should take the decision so that I could see a smart world. So if you need to handle a large volume of data in the world, you need to work with the IoT to make a better decision and to work with an efficient applications. Also, I need to track myself, and I need to monitor the things surrounding to me so that I can be safe, right? So I need to go for tracking myself, or I need to monitor the things surrounding me. Then I need to work with IoT. Yes, that is one more important thing. That is why I need to connect with IoT. And see, now I need to reduce the workload. I need to work with the automation. I'm not saying that complete automation, because you take one area which is in agriculture. So for this agriculture area, now you could see the scarcity of the labor, right? Because of either of the reason. So I cannot afford for cultivation of the crop, right? If I'm cultivating the crop, again, one more important thing is affordability of that particular, what do you say, crop. Maybe the rate may not be there, and whatever I can spend on that may not be back for me. So I need to go for the automation. So we need to slightly reduce the workload on us, and we need to go for the automation wherever it is required. That is why I need IoT. And I need to increase the efficiency of my work, and I need to save the money, and I need to save the resources. So for this, increasing the efficiency of my work is the example of how we are connected. So though we are connected through virtual mode, Yes, we are all connected through the virtual mode, but we were not stopped connecting each other. We are saving the money, we are avoiding the transport, and we are avoiding the pandemic. We are reducing the pandemic since we are not connected together. Yes, and I'm reducing the resources. Yes, if one way we are reducing the resources, the other way we need to spend the resources. Yes or no? Instead of me going with the transport and then reaching to the college and meeting you all, maybe I've connected to the virtual. Through that, I'm reducing one of the criteria for me. Yes, that is why I need IoT. And also better quality of life. Yes, I mentioned everything. So in the world currently, how qualitative and how quantitative we are. Based on this parameter, we are going to sustain in the world. I hope everybody will agree with me. If I don't have the content with me, nobody can listen to me. Yes or no? If I don't have a quality time to spend, nobody will turn up to me. So there are so many parameters, so many constraints were there here. Why I need IoT? This is a simple thing which I projected. You could see there are so many devices like smartphones, laptops, washing machines, smart home, then driverless cars, then smart cams, then smart bulbs, smart city, smart communication through mail or WhatsApp or different types of modes, etc. Yes. The next one. Sorry. Yes.
Please continue, ma'am. Some noise is coming.
Yeah, some disturbance.
Noise is not from my side, sir. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
not from you, not from you. From student,
Yeah.
maybe one of them.
And the next
We'll mute.
important thing which I projected here is about how the transformation will take place, how we are connecting. So we are connecting through the signals which we are receiving. We are connecting to the network through the signals what we are receiving. So through the satellite, we'll be receiving the signal. This is one of the example what I have taken, right, to connect with the cloud through this IoT setup. Yes, through this GPS, I'm connecting to the mobile, and this what do you say? Base stations will be sending the signal for me, and from there I'm connecting to the cloud and to the different users. Example, you take the Amazon purchases itself. We will place the order through the options which are available. I may be connected through my mobile or through my laptop, but I'm connecting directly to the cloud of Amazon. Yes. So like this, the connectivity will take place. From the GPS, we will be connecting to the devices through the centralized base stations. Again, we may connect further to the cloud and we will be connecting each other. This is a simple connectivity I have shown here. Yes. I hope everybody can see this, how to connect with the IoT. So with this, so many slides I have shown, I hope like everybody would have got an idea how to connect with the IoT. How to connect? First, we need to know which platform we are selecting to connect the devices. For that, I need to have the devices, right? So devices, smart devices, I need to first identify. I need to fetch the platform where and how I can connect these devices, right? And I need to see how I can customize my devices for different type of applications. Through that, right? Through that, how I can utilize my smart connectivity with different source of applications. It may be required for the industry, or it may irrespective of either of the industry. It's not only a software industry, for the business perspective to improve also. Like we need to know how we are going to connect with an IoT. So these are simple components which are projected. Just finding the devices, right? Connecting them and working, making them to work in a specific platform, customizing that information to different type of applications and enhancing the business. Yes, it may be for the business perspective or it may be for our personal perspective. So this is how we can connect. This is a simplified way of connectivity. Yes. Yes. Now I hope I have given the answers. Why is IoT? How you can connect with an IoT? Yes. Where you can use. And this is an application of IoT. All of you could see, I could add complete information here. Yes, this is a animated pic. This is not an animated pic, which I have shown you the situation how it was up to 2020 and so on. Right. We can connect this IoT with a house. We can connect this IoT with different types of what do you say, industries. Right. If you are working with a house, right, you can track, you can monitor, and you can control every portion from your house. Also, you have different types of applications in the home, right? Every application in the sense the components what we are using, or the equipments what we are using, like television, smart televisions, ovens, right, washing machines and fridge. Everywhere there is a smart connectivity. So unknowingly we know that we are gaining the control on those devices which are already been sourced by someone else. Yes or no? And here what we could see through this complete figure is what is IoT. Like, it is all about communication and working with an infrastructure and working with the different types of applications, and how many number of devices can connect like this, and what kind of issues that we may face when we are connecting, what kind of benefits that we may have. So if I could say, show you this benefits and issues, always we need to follow the benefits. Why? Because we are telling that we are going to be work with a smarter way. So there are different types of benefits as per the application. In the same manner, there are different types of issues. Issues are, since we are connecting to the network, there is no privacy for us. There is no security and privacy. So privacy, it is just like an environment where you need to work. Security is assigning the confidentiality for your environment and for your equipments. Yes or no? So this security and privacy is a constraint, and always we cannot work with the particular standards, right? And we need to go for licensed things sometimes when you are connecting with the network. That is also one of the complications. Yes. Yes. You could see as a summary, current world is behind this IoT. It's now IoT with AI is going to be the future. And this is a simple pic what I have given. So this is sourced from your network itself, right, from your Google, where we are connecting to the entire world through IoT. Yes, through the satellite we are connecting, we are receiving the signal, and we are making the devices into smarter, and we are going to connect to the devices. Now you could see here, you could get the signal from the craft. If there is a loss of signal, we could identify where the damage was happened or whether the flight is crashed. Yes or no? In the same manner, smart lights we are using, driverless cars we are using. And now if you can see all these Ola, Uber, all these cars, including autos, they were with the GPS system. This is all because of the smart objects which are connected to the IoT. Yes, now with a single click, we can connect with the world. Yes. And also, yes, last 3 slides, sir. Now I could show you the type of devices what we have. So which is about the Raspberry Pi and Arduino board. By using these kind of devices, you can connect with IoT. So Raspberry Pi, it is a component what we have, right, to monitor the what do you say, our devices. Like example, you can take a television, like how you can monitor, how you can work with the television and all, you can see, right? Yes. If you have a smart TV, you can connect the network to the smart TV, and you can work with that smart TV in a smarter way. How you can work in a smarter way? Yes, I can take the class through my smart TV if I have a keyboard, or if I can see the remote will be working, means I can work. So this is around 360 degrees angle of information about Raspberry Pi. This is one of the device where you can customize the data for your applications when you are connected with the IoT. So now you may have different types of programming languages, right? Like Python, C programming. By writing the program with respect to this Arduino board and Raspberry Pi, you can build the applications. This is one of the equipment we are using. And the next one is about the Arduino board. One sample Arduino board specification I have given. like what is the voltage which is required, how much input it is required, what are the different types of pins it is having, input and output. This is all about the devices what we are using when we are connected with the IoT, right? The two most popular devices to customize the applications are Arduino board and Raspberry Pi. This Arduino board and Raspberry Pi, these two are the devices wherein which you can use a pair of sensors, right? You can use the software and hardware specifications to connect. That complete setup would be an IoT. Is that clear? See, I wanted to see a group of sensors, how they are measuring the temperature. So I can connect two sensors and I can use this Raspberry Pi and Arduino board. And I can write a piece of code to see how the sensor is measuring the data. Is that clear? So these are the two devices. We can use it to connect with an IoT along with the sensors, actuators, and the processor and memory unit, etc. Yes. Now I'm going to show you a sample a project which is running. This is, you could see, right? Behind that, there is a screen where the code is running and the objects were projected here. And you could see one person is moving the hands here. So based on hand moving the object, you could see it is moving here and there. It is an IoT setup. I hope, I don't know whether you can completely see it or not. The equipment which
We
is
are able to
connected,
see it, ma'am. We are able to see it. No issue.
yeah, no, ma'am. Behind, I guess, behind the two smart objects, there is a keyboard and Raspberry Pi connectivity and the system where the code is running. So this is one of the project which is running now in our college. As a sample, I have projected where it is just like detecting the motion of an object in front of a particular sensors. Sensors, actuators are connected here. Raspberry Pi and Arduino board is also used here. And this is all completely an IoT setup. I cannot define completely here, just like IoT is so and so. You just remember whichever the smart object we are connected to the world is an IoT setup. Yes. So that's all. And now, yes, this is the next trend which is going to be in the market in the future. Future IoT with AI. Clear? So the complete control will be there in the human hands, or it may be in the machine hand. So this is about IoT with AI, which is going to be the future for us. Yes, that's all. I am ending my presentation. Thank you all. If any doubts are there, kindly ask me so that I can clarify your doubts. And there is a request, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, we had an FDP in our college from 2 o'clock. I can spare only another few minutes, so I can clarify the doubts. Or if anybody is having doubts, the students can write a mail to me so that I can clarify the doubts.
Yes, ma'am. So now we request the faculty members and the students to post their questions in the chat box.
Some are there already. Please read out. She will clarify one or two if it is there.
Yes, sir. They have posted in the YouTube.
Yeah. Just read out if she can do.
Ma'am, one student has asked, what is the difference between machine learning and IoT?
Okay. So any other questions, sir?
And how to use Raspberry Pi in IoT?
Okay.
And the last question is, what are the new ideas in the field of automation?
Okay. Okay.
These
difference between IoT and machine learning, and everybody are asking, right? Just machine learning, it is just like a technology transition, right? It is a technology transition. IoT is completely, I mentioned as it is with the interconnecting devices. Yes, it is just like a system with the connection of devices. It may be, it is in a wireless manner.
Okay.
See, there is a small difference here with the IoT and with the sensor network. If you can see a sensor network, it is a part of IoT. All the sensors were not directly connected to the network, but IoT is all connectivity with the smart objects to the network. But machine learning is a technology, right? It's a domain. It's a complete domain. IoT is a complete domain. And machine learning, just like it will be a technology how it will respond as per the user request. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So which is better, we cannot say anything, because machine learning is a technology where you will write different concepts or different methods to extract the information from an object or to generate the information from an object, etc. But IoT is just like to connect to the network in a wireless way, like we were using this IoT. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
ma'am.
One more question you asked me.
Yes, ma'am. So what is the purpose of using Raspberry Pi in IoT?
See, Raspberry Pi or what do you say, Arduino board.
Yeah.
All these are different types of components. Yes, if you are not using this Raspberry Pi, yes, we need to have an equipment to measure the data or to see like how your what do you say, how your smart devices will measure the information. Alternatives are also there for this Raspberry Pi. So mainly the Raspberry Pi will be used, right, for the processing of the data. It is just like a processing of the data. We use this Raspberry Pi, like we were using, right, to monitor, to measure the data, right?
Yes, ma'am.
For measuring that data from your smart devices, we use the Raspberry Pi. There are alternatives for the Raspberry Pi as well. So you need not use a Raspberry Pi, but you have to use the sufficient hardwares or smart devices to connect with the world so that you can measure the data. There is always a supplement. So Raspberry Pi is a device which is mainly used to measure the data, to monitor the data, etc. Right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. And the last question is what are the new ideas in the field of automation?
See, the question itself, it is new ideas in the automation. See, if I can say self-driving cars, it is an automation.
Yeah.
Yes, that is a new idea, right? And also I need to see automatic control of my gas stove. Before I reach to my home from my workplace, I need to see automatically all my tools should be used, and I should see the food will be cooked, which is already there in the market. Research is keep going on. Smart agriculture. In spite of keep on saying the smart agriculture, people are affected due to the pandemic, right? Lot of farmers were losing their scope to farm. Why? Because of the scarcity of the resources, manpower. This is one of the idea where you can start thinking it. You can start thinking it. There are different types of areas. First, if you can say, if I need to customize the complete automobile industry, it is not possible. Complete robots has to work for this automatic work, right? So partial work only we could see now, because again, if the complete complete world is behind the automation, means manpower will be going down, and again the lot of scarcity will be there. That is what I mentioned. Automation is required, but it is up to one extent. It depends upon the area how you customize. Is it clear? So I hope you got my answer. So yes, there is a number of areas where you need the automation. So kindly focus. Agriculture is one thing, and yes, driverless cars, but again there is a security problem, and also accidents will keep on happening, though the research is keep on going. Yes, like that there are different types of ways. Yes, sir. So with this, sir, please, if anybody is having a doubt, like they can write a mail to me, because only 5 minutes time is left out for me. I can leave the session.
Just
sure,
2 minutes,
sure.
ma'am. We'll just go for vote of thanks.
Yeah. So now I request Mr. Dharmendra Raju, event coordinator of this program, for vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dharmendra Raju, the event coordinator of today's enrichment program, IoT 360-degree view. Take this opportunity to present the vote of thanks. I would like to thank our resource person, Dr. Bindu Madhavi, for enlightening us with her knowledge in interesting IoT technology. It gave deep insight into the topic and also releved some interesting facts. The program was really informative. I am pretty sure the concept would be helpful for the participants of the program. Once again, I would like to thank you, Dr. P. Bindu Madhavi, for accepting our invitation, taking out of time from her busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, madam. I must like to thank our chairman, Sri SNVL Narsimharaju, management representative of the HSR campus, Ms. Ujjwala Raju, for providing us opportunity to conduct this program. I would like to extend a special thanks to our most dynamic principal, R. Kavesri, for permitting and supporting us to organize this event. I thank you, our vice principals, Dr. Bharati S. and Professor Gayatri Sudhir, for encouraging us to organize this event. I would like to thank our backbone and always encouraging dynamic HOD, Dr. Susil Kumar Sahu, for his proper guidance and systematic planning to conduct this program. I thank organized committee and all our department faculty members to extend their help to conduct this program. I thank our technical support and system administrator, Mr. Prakash, to manage all technical aspects of the program. I thank all various department of HODs and faculty members and my dear students for participating and making this program purposeful. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
ma'am.
much. Yeah, I'll be leaving, sir.
Yeah, the event is concluded. The feedback link is posted in the chat box. Please do give your valuable feedback. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.
It will be there for 5 minutes now, active for your feedback. This link will be on now. It will be active for 5-10 minutes for their feedback. RK sir.
Yes, sir. They posted it already.
Yes.
In chat box is there, sir.
After posting your valuable feedback, you can leave the meeting. Students and dear teachers, faculty members, all participants, after posting your valuable feedbacks, you can leave the meeting.
Prakash sir.
Yes, sir.
How many certificates gone, sir?
I didn't check it, sir.
Dharmendra sir.
Sir.
34. Now 35.
From your side, 34.
No, 35. No, keep on increasing now. 37.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
Now they are sending now. 37 now. 37 certificates.
Archana madam.
Already posted, sir. Madam posted in YouTube, sir.
Yes.
I already informed.
Yes.